The Pillowman. Set in a totalitarian state. That's always fun. The subtext communicating that darkness and lack of control prevails. The story world is uncertain, suspicious, and not sure of itself. It seeks resolution, justice, and truth. The bounds of morality are put through a microscope. What's right? What's wrong? Are you right for suffocating your parents with a pillow because they abused you as a child? Is taking another life ever justifiable? Definitely not a show for snowflakes. Murder, blood, and torture are a running feature in the show. There's indifference in the murders by the characters for humor's sake and just sociopathy. The story starts off in an interrogation room when a writer, Kutarian, is questioned of the murder of the children resembling and mirroring what he wrote in his short stories. The details of the murders and his stories identical. The detectives even find tangible evidence in his house of the victim's severed body parts. The deaths are gruesome and graphic, from razor blades shoved in the throat to toes being cut off, leading to bleeding to death. The writer, Kutarian, claims innocence, and the detectives, Tolposky and Ariel, press down on him heavily to get the truth out of him, deploying good cop, bad cop, and other torture techniques. Kutarian's brother, Mikhail, is also in custody in another room, awaiting the same brutish treatment. Mikhail is a special case, and the words retard and slow are loosely used to describe him. It is revealed that he is the killer and not his brother. Finding out the truth, Kutarian murders his brother in a jail cell and takes the fall for everything, hoping to spare his brother torture and preserve his writing for years to come. In the end, he too is put to the sword, but his work survives for another 50 years. Unbelievable story. I simply loved everything about the show. The subject matter dark and uncomfortable, but it was under the hands of expert storytellers. A couple of hours with an interval, we went deep into the story and understood what motivated the characters. The writer, Martin McDonough, is the real hero. The writing is simply exquisite. The pacing of the show, the dark humor, the sharp wit and sarcasm, it contributed some comic relief to a tense storyline. The miniature stories told throughout the story using animation and art projected on the screen was a great touch. We had visual aids. We could see the stories the performers told. That was such a cool experience. I've never experienced theater like that. It's risky, unsettling, cringe, and out of the comfort zone theater. The show was captivating, a real thriller. I was locked in that world. The performers were outstanding. They stayed in role even after the show was over. They didn't even take a bow. The story and ending didn't call for them to take a bow. Darkness just permeated until the auditorium was lit, indicating that the show was over. If I were to rate it, I'd give it perfect stars. All the stars. It was an immensely satisfying show. My hat goes off to Hugh Becker, who played Kutarian, the writer who initiated all the chaos. Ildi Kugel, who played Tolposky, Detective Number 1 and Good Cop. Debo Hotladi, who played Ariel, Detective Number 2 and Bad Cop. And Wenzel Lombard, who was untouchable as Mikhail. Congratulations, Paprika Productions, for an amazing show. Definitely coming back for a second run. Thank you, Daphne Kuhn and Theatre on the Square, for another classic.